Pan Renato Capozzi z
So Renato
Neapolu.
Capozzi
Bardzo
from
prosimy o
Naples,
wystąpienie.
the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation. My speech regards, as in an abstract, the relation between history and design through the examination of concept of heritage, the notion of heritage. This is the main issues. For example, the etymological roots of the terms, and also the relation between the notion of heritage, legacy, and tradition, for example. Starting, first of all, of this quotation by Bernardo de Chartres related to the meaning and the value of the masters for the architectures. This reflection starting from these works, these books that I edited also with other colleagues, that focalize the reflection on the meaning of the terms. The terms in Italian patrimonio, in English obviously heritage, legacy, and so on. For example, in the very famous dictionary by on the etymological roots of the terms patrimonio, we can read father and mother, brother and sister do not constitute symmetrically pairs in the European or opposite mater. The roots is mater, no? Or pater for patrimonio. And also in Greek, father, perceives better than any other languages the meaning of member of brotherhood, a term classifying kinship. In the Italian word patrimonio, for example, as you've seen in this image, refers primarily to patrimo, or offspring, that which comes from the father. No? Is the legacy of the father. In a way, these terms could be applied to cultural, obviously, cultural heritage, architectural heritage. This book is organized, very short synthesis, obviously, in some chapter, prefacing by two main lectures. One by José Ignacio Linazasoro, one of the most important architects in the field of heritage, transformation and interpretation, and another main lecture by Silvano Tagliagamba. Silvano Tagliagamba was one of the most important philosophers that have a lot of reflection of the value of the legacy, the value of heritage, cultural, physical, architectural, and also material, also not material. The book is organized to, I think, 4 sessions. The first one regards the notion of patrimonio, the notion of heritage, and the other one connecting the terms heritage or legacy or patrimonio to a problem of architecture, the problem of dwelling, patrimonio abitare, the problem of architecture itself, what is the link between patrimonio as a values. What is patrimonio? It's a thing that has values, it's a recognizable values for a community, by a community. but also what means patrimonio, legacy, and heritage, and cities. What means heritage in the cities. And obviously, heritage and archaeology is really deep connected. The idea of heritage with the idea of archaeology, because archaeology is a reflection of on the heritage, on the arche, of the starting point of our cultures and so on. No? And obviously, this is an expansion of the meanings of the heritage to the territory and landscape. And the last one session, really important too, not directly connected to architecture and urbanism and so on, but very important for us, is the relation with pollution. Because patrimony involves pollution, the question of restoration, the question of economy, and so on. Some image of a beautiful building in Naples, Palazzo Orsini di Gravina. This was our faculty in Naples. Is a Renaissance building, very interesting. Okay, I go faster to some image. This is the essay by José Ignacio Rinazzasoro, Escolas Pias, very important project realized in Madrid. And this is the essay by Silvano Tagliagambe, and as you recognize this image, is the house designed by Ludwig Wittgenstein for his sister. Each parts of the book have the summary in front with some image that denoting the starting point of each essay. You can see, for example, this image, very important. Oedipus that speak with Sphinx. This is my essay. This is one of the more ancient images of giant Orion that have on the top of shoulder a small man. At the end, I explain what means this image. Also for heritage and dwelling, also for heritage and architecture. For example, this image is very important. It's a project. And heritage and cities, and heritage and archaeologists. I want to underline this project. This is a project on a project of reconstruction by Giorgio Grassi. It's an attempt to solving the problem of representation, theater representation. Also, the pollution of heritage with some other most important heritage. Okay, I have to explain the rule of this image or this image. This is a Fuseli. This is the artist that is desperate in front of the greatness of the ancient. Because the problem is the relation with tradition. This is one of the most important problems in definition of heritage. For example, I can quote Thomas Eliot. If the only form of tradition, of transmission, consistent in following the paths of the immediately preceding generation, with blind and timid adherence to the success already achieved, tradition would certainly be discouraged. We have seen so many trickles that soon disappear into the sand, and notably is certainly preferable to repetition. Tradition, however, is a matter of much broader significance. Tradition, and for metonymy, heritage, cannot be inherited. And if you want, you have to work hard to get it, and so on. But also this image explain what is the relation, the good relation with the tradition. We have to stay on the shoulder of the ancient, of the masters. Latin quotation by John of Sarajevo, Bernard of Chartres argued that we have like draft on the shoulders of giants, so that we can see more things and further than them, not because the sharpness of our sick or stain of our bodies, but because we sit higher and are elevated thanks to the greatness of the giant. To conclude, I show you a works on heritage. Mostly interesting for me, heritage is, I have mentioned before, the archaeological. I work on the necropolis by Cerveteri at Etruscan, important city in Italy, for this workshop, international design workshop. Some sketching. The problem is to find a right entrance to this incredible necropolis, totally excavated in tuff stone. Really amazing. But not have a clear, interesting entrances. And our project works on this possibility to use also the technique of excavation, the technique of realizing space inside the heart of the terrain of the stone as a work for tourists, for accommodation, and so on. Different possibility. Nowadays we have this street that cutting the archaeological site. The idea is to realize under this street, this is the street, the possibility of an entrances with services and a system of stairs, a system of path to go over the ruins, over this dome, is tombs, no? Really amazing tombs at the dome. But it's not just one type of tombs. We have also tombs excavated and so on in this part, for example. And also the possibility to catch the lighting from the top. Simple drawing to explain. This is the street that go up the ruins, these tombs and so on. The underground and underground levels, with the possibility to connect this to space, open space, this internal to the terrain, and this is the path that goes up. Section. You can see the possibility to reconstruct the technique of the Etruscan to cutting the stone, and the possibility to have the light inside with small pyramids. And this, I think, the last image. Thank you for your attention.